Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me today. Welcome to today's lesson. Let's go ahead and take a look at today's lesson objective. So, today we will divide 2 and 3-digit dividends by multiples of 10 with single-digit quotients. The teaks we're going to focus on today is 5.3c, 5.4b. All right. Now, let's look at what is a dividend. So, a dividend is the total amount that is being divided or equally shared. So, in this problem, 63 is our dividend. That is what we are dividing into different groups. Okay. All right. Now, let's take a look at today's problem. So, we have 70 divided by 30. So before I go ahead and solve this problem, I'm going to estimate my dividend, which is going to be 70 right over here. I'm going to estimate my dividend or round my dividend. Oops, sorry, I spelled that wrong. Dividend. There we go. So we're going to go ahead and round our dividend. So it's easier to divide by 30. 30 doesn't really give us a nice number when we divide it. So we're going to go ahead and round it just to give us an approximation of what our number is going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and put down my estimate right here. So my estimate for 70 divided by 30 is, 70 can be rounded to about 60. So we're going to go ahead and do 60 divided by 30. And that's going to give us a nice, easy number to divide by. So 60 divided by 30 is going to equal 2. So we can think that our quotient or the answer to our division problem is going to be around 2. All right, now let's go ahead and solve this problem. So we're going to go ahead and use the actual numbers now and actually do the division to figure out what our answer is. So I'm going to go ahead and use long division and the standard algorithm to do this. So I have 30 is going to be my divisor, and I have, hang on. Let me bring this down just a little bit. That's a little bit too close to put up there. Okay, so I have 30. And I'm going to go ahead and take 70 and divide that into 30. So now we see that's about, if I have 30, I can do that 2 times. I can multiply 2 times, and that is going to give me 60. Right? If I go up to 3 times, that'll give me 90, which is going to be bigger than 70. So I have 60. So now I'm going to go ahead and subtract and see how much I have left over. So I have 10 as my remainder. So my answer is going to be 2 remainder 10. And then if we look at our estimate was 2. Our answer is 2 with a remainder. So it's a reasonable thing. We estimated pretty close, right? Our estimation is pretty close to our actual quotient. Now, whenever we are doing math, it's always a really, really good idea to check our answers. So I'm going to go ahead and check our answers here. Now we divided. Now an easy way to check our division problems is to multiply. So I know that I had 30, and if I multiply by 2, because that was what our quotient is, so if we take 30 and 2, that's going to give us 60, right? So that's going to give us 60 right there. But we also have a remainder of 10. That's really important to remember. So in order to see if our answer is correct, we need to go ahead and add 60 plus 10, which is going to give us 70, which is what our dividend was, right? So we have 70. So our answer is correct, right? Because when we did the reverse of division, we did multiplication and then added our remainder, we got 70. So this is a correct answer. All right, now let's go ahead and do one more problem. So over here, we have 572, and we are going to divide 572 by 90. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go ahead and estimate first. So if we do our estimation, I am going to go ahead and figure out what number I can round 572 to kind of give us an easy number to work with when we are rounding to 90. So I am going to go ahead and figure out, okay, what numbers can I round 572 to? So if I think about it, okay, so I'm going to round it to about 540. I'm going to round it down to 540 because I know that if I have 90 and I multiply that by 6, that's going to give me 540. Right? So 90 times 6 is going to give me 540. So I can expect that my actual answer is going to be around 6. My actual quotient in my actual problem is going to be around 6. So let's go ahead and solve using our long division, our standard algorithm. So we have 572 as our dividend, and I'm going to go ahead and divide that by 90. Okay, so now let's go ahead. We already kind of did the mental math a little bit, so let's go ahead and put down 6 because we know that we can at least multiply or at least divide 572 into 6 groups, and that's going to give us 6 times 90 is going to give us 540. So now I'm going to go ahead and subtract that away. And so now I have 2 ones take away 0 ones is 2. 7 tens take away 4 tens is 3 tens. And then we have 500s take away 500s is nothing. So we have 32 as our remainder. So we have 6 with a remainder of 32. All right, now let's go ahead and check our answers. So if I'm going to go ahead and check my answer over here. I'm going to use blue. So if we check our answer, we're going to check with multiplication. So I can go ahead and take 90, multiply that by 6. That's going to give me 540. Now we have to remember we have to add our remainder. So if I take 540 and then we add that to the remainder of 32, that's going to give us 572, which is what our original dividend was. Okay, so that's a way that we can look. Now we can also represent this, and a way to think about this is to use a number bond. And there's multiple different ways we can think about it. This is going to help us with our mental math, or some of us with it. So it's 572, right? That's how much is our total number. And I know if I were to split my numbers up, so I have 540, that is what is going to be the same as 6 groups of 90. Now, if we do that, if we have 540, that's going to give us a remainder of 32. So sometimes this may help us with mental math or just thinking about it as a number bond. 6 groups of 90 is going to give us 540, and that'll leave us with 32 left over. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and review today's lesson objectives. So today we divided 2 and 3-digit dividends by multiples of 10 with single-digit quotients. Thank you all so much for joining me in today's lesson. I hope you had a fantastic day. I hope the rest of your day is amazing as well, and I'll see you next lesson. Bye, everybody.